To aso anope e de ama nkrofo adi wo mo ani nsu wo musu ya me na obuafo ate menka na minyai okay mini abema Ivan Che Innocent e wa ha na sane eja Ebenezer ene eyi Ebenezer Mokto ai ameya we don't need them. One Mr. Ivan, hey, ready. Me chose kaka krebi abano. Weja. All right. Ivan aba. Why? Na I'm a bomi wo a comment session ho. Ivan, good morning.
Good morning, yeah.
Bokwadie.
Oh, nyame adom.
Ye de nyame ase. Je de nyame ase na eja. Enkrofo fiti enura na omo twen. Enti ya mesem na me waste time enkrofo ye ebu yefu. Mufacha me wate ni nyina so ka badwuma no me se me pesika am pesika enye yi munya abotre emfa emame na weekend net se eja ye hia se ya na de ko weekend dia besi.
I think a lot of activities, but the most important thing is and I think that is the most important thing. Humanity we are them for God and country. You go so and ye jay nye
ane
ko ye that's the CI and be ho so no mind that gatam
nyasem keto
always there must be vocal voices try to shaping and guard whatever that is happening so be the average ordinary Ghanaian benya so mfaso we space but who's a lot of people as I say complaining about your friend saying electricity tariff that's for various social media platform. It's quite sad. And I back here, there be a because I near my moving yet why you know. A be a wooden abrosan at Tasso tennis. Obaka said, maybe our video so a bizarre question say, I didn't tina a buy sana buy no coffee. Now at that time, and de your friend is a meter for aggressively, why a man for a bra meter never honor fought any home. Yeah, but now and I think a week after, and a communication came said they should suspend that particular way. You see, a man for the minor your business, and it's the reason why, sir, your friend saying meter na there issue be any home, but Quabrania comma contract eduntino con at the end say young why by force, and many of the issues I ever has to do with this meter install your man for what I say is the reason why my position has always been Cocoa Board, ECG. Scholarship Secretariat, all the agencies must be subjected to critical criminal inquiry to be able to ascertain. It's a near way a course a right and care course. Most of the procurement course was it right? Then as a forum, the band is saying buyer or is it a power? Well, lose power we echo. Ever be contracted on supply. Over 80,000 bills of jute sack. Abra Onim said there is a backlog in the previous years, you know. Yeah, it may be 75,000. Now our supply just 500 per. Now yet it is my way, you know. So I think we need to be very aggressive. Do criminal inquiry into some of these things and no more would deserve to be prosecuted, you know. Should be. Must be prosecuted because 1 year, in the next 1 year, you cannot be making reference to the past government anymore. No. Because the question is, oh yeah, Bibia, then why are so I think that this is the time to do all these things. Sanitize the system. Am I the pedestal we find ourselves in? Say so in moving forward, you know, the expectations of Ghanaians, you know, will be in line with the current state of play because they expect you to do more. You understand? So I think these are some of the things that government must take into consideration and ensure all these critical sectors are messing up. Corruption and as a forum, for the year to talk as see a dining as a forum, no, and making sure that we inquire into all these things, and those who deserve to be prosecuted must be prosecuted to send a loud message to people out there. Because you see, in building and nurturing a democracy, the only way to achieve that, and they say, we may establish these conventional red lines. Now, no, make a South Korea, a more former president, immediate former president, you're jailing for life. You're jailing the last better American say why institute martial law you're jailing for life or condemning kwanda former president Akufo-Addo crab if you and I think say omo pam no or jail forever So this is Nema way here just to establish these conventional red lines. Sabi obi abe who say, and a former president quite call for life here. Now what turn with here? Ufuma, you know those kind of stuff. But they had here for neko jail. You know, once you can talk and buy your way out, and these people who let Cocoa Board down and now dominating the media space, spending propaganda. They are on the grounds line to farmers and then as a for them because they are working free. You understand? So I think we need to change this methodology and make sure we go the aggressive way. Menka say young wage hunting will be. But will be the actions, inactions, omissions and commissions. Amagana bedura bi edria ma ene obi asibo duama o man na yentimi nkwa yanima ene yakaba bi yakai. We must begin to punish these people for such decisions.
All right, then I think say yamfa Cocoa de ubo so kakra. Me bo video be na Cocoa kuani bi asema na o catch Dr. Tukono because I know say when we say Dr. Tukono so start here all call round. So I don't know Davidson video na already anka obebo ama Ivan etie biem na what make key points out of it e dia maye.
Said we can head okre. Say we can head okre unhunu. Na emo mprempren yi de me gira gokwa akuafo nyina na mu na me ka se aban dada no amoka ansa na yen ye beji atum sa aban ne boka enti na aba ne sa no se machi no je sa mod na gina mara no na ama ye hu se no kra bi company for de ani ahu e na edi ho danse nya de aso ate ono abo enti ampa na se papa se oben na mpa me ka se o kan ye bia ye te ni ehu so odo akuafo pa wo de nkoto dwani ani bi ni cheda na papa ni nkomo se wo ba uma na ogu na akuafo ya sem nyina ne se saban dada ne bo ka to ho de a ene wonche no ni ehu se ya mpa se amane sa de a ya nyintum aban bia ma oka yan ka so ya trufo na emom de ani ehu ne di hu adanse ntia honorable de na wo ka bibi sei wasa men.
And Ivan.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable.
This is the cocoa farmers.
Yes, it's reasonable. And then be a you see, your politics and advance to a stage and obi a wadwen le senka onto politics as
exactly.
Or more adwemu they understand the issues.
Sure.
The political audience in 1990 no are more consuming the political market no. They are different from or more in your way. People are assertive, very critical. They will ask all the critical questions. And you know the question is, most of the state-owned enterprises, agencies, and state-owned by crime scene. People were recklessly mismanaging these entities, taking decisions that are so dangerous to your friends or minor. Corruption then as a for in our course. So the only way beyond say investigation as situated critical fact me stand the test of prosecution or court it will remain assumptions, conjectures and suppositions unless there be a criminal inquiry. Near to me I lay the building blocks a bit me so I had some of these things. And it's the reason why some of these things are very critical. You understand sometimes you see you don't just even do to find fault, but you establish what the facts are, so that the average Ghanaian will know say, oh, Cocoa Board, understand, say in the call. So, anti because Abra Mote Cocoa, Abra price, or international market, most of the people, their argument has always been said, then government will have to find money to pay for the difference. Yeah. The question is, Cocoa Board at that particular moment, was it solvent to be able to guarantee that particular payment? The answer is no. They see because certain individuals use the Cocoa Board as a financing tool. What they finance political urges. For instance, Kwabraneba Sorako African Development Bank, $350 million. Say or the Baba cocoa rehabilitation way. Yeah, at the end of the day. Hectares yeah they bury rehabilitation 156,000. They ended up rehabilitating less than 50,000. Sikani nyinasa ya saying I spend the extra 700 million Ghana cedis account. And you begin to ask questions. How 350 million utimi san with just rehabilitation when timi anya de wo ye wase abo hoka. Say the party timi church omu na say to asumu and then you tell the people of this country, you understand? And again sir, your friends say due sack ya procurement and ya chama manfo yi nipa na the contract money to ya na ka na ni bibia wi a onya oda wi a mfa no ho bia mi se beba emba ye se ukoport wa de sum ho yet they were given that particular contract. So nipa na procurement na all that authorization knowing very well say much of it has been awarded, they have not been supplied yet. The person was insisting say people should go and buy, you know. Then they will come and answer. Ghana for who say nipa we na ye kwan ya fa so the cocoa board books board bosia yetimi monitoring and evaluation yetimi suo sika bag mama kwabrani say onko take cocoa farmers data how much it cost to you know. These things must be told in plain language, you understand? And sana wasen ba be chirim say cocoa no eswati e war stage say net here ya kasa ye toma cocoa board no the financial standing in the position a weekend to the stand say yentumi nya saa say ya fasika kwase the financier aban no cocoa board na e ka no emfrim da because we are coming from a background that cocoa na yakwaji hu sika se supply na yentumi an supply na ye de ka over 333,000 metric tons of cocoa sa cocoa no ya mametone current price o omoji ya no mo san lock in $2,600 per ton dollars. Yes, sa 333,000 metric tons of cocoa na what is a carness yetua no. Yes, no omo lock price no $2,600. So the following year cocoa board eba beto cocoa no na auto free farmer no $3,100. And every ton be a wo to dia kotua ka bia no oboka $494 times 333 saying almost $941 million there alone. A car. Because nipa na senka supply cocoa no man this year. One no price no say meton $2,600. Want to be on supply oko the following year. The following year no cocoa farmer no eso at kosoro. Won't even got on free the horse at $2,600 na wa lock no. No and they or turn at 3,100. And the cocoa board will have to come and buy at 3,100. Then we'll go and give it to the panel or the cano $2,600.
Hi.
Yes. First year we supply, I think that was about 255,000. This year we are supposed to provide supply the rest, which is 98,000. Nina lock at 2,600. You understand? So me, why I find it quite astonishing is say, Abasa nema we cost no cocoa board should have taken the lead. I won't have grounds. You don't allow opposition to take the lead to go and sow this misinformation and disinformation campaign. By the time I overcome no already no you want someone dream say be abaka bi omubu ni nsemu because on baka cho say nipa na ya bone identity order so nam. What I say, that is why I this order to investigate and make us say late because it should have been done long ago. You say it's always better late than none. You understand? So I think say aside cocoa board the asem na yeka, me say ECG can be and all other state entities. You know, there's various security heads now. President Mahama appointed or mono. Sometimes it's not always that the president will give you directive. People should be seen acting on their own. You understand? Because you are working with intelligence and as a forum. After assessing the books and all the things that has happened, you can institute this inquiry. Because when I'm a cocoa boss CEO, I can call for that investigation. When I'm a ECG boss, I can call for that investigation without even referencing the president in as a forum. That is why the person I will post that trust and confidence in you, sir.
To be there.
You are fully in charge. Take charge of this sector. Manage it. Must it always come back to the president? You understand? So I think that people should be seen acting on their own. And yes, sir, that is why I'm for say accuse they are cutting deals, cutting corners. It may not be entirely true. It could be just assumption as but because these criminal inquiries are not going, it will lend certain credence. Because in politics, it's not always about the fact. People believe in what they hear. You understand? And once this propaganda machinery begin to, operate gaining grounds, and unfortunately, the mainstream media who understand some of these things, instead of them to lay down the facts, they are the people who are providing the oxygen of publicity to this senseless propaganda spinning, and they are finding it, making it look like government is doing something against farmers. Realizing see a current state that John Mahama government is paying the average farmer almost 90% of everything that they go to the market to sell. And the government, how benevolent can government be for doing this thing? You understand? When in the past, when the price surged to over $10,000, you know, the farmer was receiving less than 3,000 Ghana cedis at the time. You understand? Our dollar rate, you know, is very high.
Yeah.
And then what's now we all the mathematical computation around this cocoa and as for that. No single logical mind will be able to accuse government. So I had the bonnet. Because at the prices at the international stage over the years, but I just say more better year. Sanka ya boy better yanka yensi sa cocoa go ship so the bian fan koma kwa branesa on top. Now what will produce what the end of Yanya will determine price. Now what about better yanka on a bed determine. Cocoa we are seeing in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire produces 70 to 60% of world cocoa production. Abisa I don't think determine price and Ghana and cocoa board. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire enter table home because when our produce what they won't determine price.
Yeah.
Because on an the idea. Ojawa cocoa nobody saw by one day. Because winyan enye adwin bian ade any value to it. Cocoa processing marketing we no e ho nyina na senka mutimi process about 400,000 metric tons, you know. Agu area na court asesa na japade agu abontensa yan town because on the cut 300 million Ghana cedis. Ontimi ntia and akufo what I say. Yeah, boy, better ye. And we cannot even determine. Cocoa na ye cotton, it is the buyer who is telling how much they are going to give us. Right. You understand? Because they say, you know, and I'm saying a financing model now you have a bit shaky because of San Krufoko ya brababoni omukobo ya nunti cocoa syndication ya lusu. Cocoa syndication ya call first, you know. Yeah, they were treating us very good. The first time we had 1.7 billion. The following year, 2016-2017, we had 1.8 billion. We had 1.6, 1.5. Akufo had to buy never 1.3, 1.3 until 2022-2023. Yakwena said no. The books are so dirty. So they could only give us $694 million, which wasn't enough to buy cocoa. So we had to run to your friend said the buyer model. At that stage, you know, we started with 60-40, where the buyers will pay 60 and Cocoa Board will have to find money to pay for the 30 and for the remaining 40. Of course, so that year, Cocoa is a supply client and supply. And the other Hoka, Bank of Ghana had to come in. And your friend said Cocoa Board. $70 million and Sano Mutimiko Tiasa Sikano, 690 we no more the Bank of Ghana had to give us a bailout of $700 million and Sana yet me settle that debt and cannot crown and default. Subsequent to that, and almost a tin time, almost my sikabium. Kwabrane ba na catch say you winning off from syndication. No be say nana ordinary finance and as ordinary papa. There is no way. That is why I commend President Mahama for coming up with this cocoa bond initiative, you know, because it's sustainable, it's long lasting, henceforth, you know. Ghana for ya deep Ghana na sipo teacher ni ya obetimi akwa sa cocoa bond no bi. Na ya de sa sika na to cocoa sika no ba e nkwa abonte higher net. That is leadership. You understand? You see, amidst of this challenge, look at the decision that the president has taken. I resolve this particular issue once and for all. For me, it is something very commending. And you don't even hear the media talking about these things. Over the years, say cocoa price in a quarter could do your friends even $10,000. They are buying a pen or the cocoa farmer. President Mahama say or the legislation ebeshe abambia kete se upo you cannot pay the farmer less than 70% of the FOB price. Do your farmer, even though there is a challenge today, you see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The government is really thinking about securing your interest in the long term. So ofri sukrana while locking with interest obi antim mama sisi obi and do onam na kasa buying way no and per farmer sema. It's mere propaganda, you understand? So you look at the other side of it. But I think communication on this thing must be enhanced. People need to communicate in the language. Most of the cocoa farmers, some of the narco cancer go to them, explain the thing to them in the language they understand. So that many penalties, as I said, what taking extra measures? I will pay 90% of the FOB price. And we'll try to do everything to ensure that you secure long-term interest of the cocoa farmer. Ebia and Kabia Krank and cocoa bag, you know. And Kabambe to somewhere around 1,500 because 15% of Sikayo Mucha and they 70% crown saying. It will be less around 1,500 Ghana cedi per bag. What I say. So I think say we need to do all these things. And I agree with the farmer, Okasa, yes, sir. Investigation into this thing must be very active. The criminal inquisition, the criminal inquiry, not just Cocoa Board. I'm saying, say, all other enterprises are Sanya Maboni, we call so a man for Abokronon. And the AG and his team, you could see, sir, is also overheard. Me, Debia Maka, a special prosecutor office, you know. So I'm also Omungunu, never Tanasia. They must give him that particular way to also go into some of these things and make sure that he works. Because at Corono doors right to the AG alone is seem overwhelmed. Yes, the documents were 400 pages and as well. We name how resourceful they are in terms of personnel and so forth. But I think I've always suggested at the regional level, the AG's department need to be expanded, resource with more people, and they on their own can initiate criminal inquiry. Because Attorney General Bakonso Otiakra going through giving. I think we need to be very, because it doesn't matter what happens in this particular economy. Ghana for no, the most critical aspect of what they want to see is to see these unwitting criminals behind bars. That's all. Nothing convinces them, because prosecute criminals. They want to see these criminals being prosecuted. No reservation. No like. Assembly will not convince the person, you understand? So I think that it is very, very important we rope into all of these things, because you see, President Mahama Bai, he has done a lot of good things, great things. The economy not stabilizing. But with this propaganda, you see clearly say it has overshadowed everything, making it look like the government is not doing anything, you understand?
Yeah.
So I think that some of these things must be done. Those who must be prosecuted as soon as possible. Those areas that we need to investigate must be investigated. The last time we made mention of Bank of Ghana, printing press, I turning into Kwanya Bank of Ghana team transfer Oboka almost bear 60 billion. You know? Ghanaians need to understand what I say. But all these things, nobody starts. Exactly, you understand? Ebasana. People who
like governor yes o mako ni fie and no mako hu machine bia o timidity tina ni fie monitor de ekoso Bank of Ghana ni nyina ye
say na ba ye practice has be gigi ye media no so the same to no mo de akire. I think that you see, and the average young Ghanaian not here no I say watching you, so what train say or 1990 nipa waboka, because and then I catch the consumers of the political market are savvy, very intelligent, very analytical, reasonable, logical. They always want to put things in their right perspective, analyze in their own terms, and come to a conclusion. Who deviate from these fine lines, it will come back to hurt you. That is a fact.
That's a fact. All right. Maybe make messages in a cacradia, but young Parliament and I think said debate be equal so or finance minister. Eko sure say or more episode or more a year policy bia e betimi aboa ya me yetimi enya gold reserve policy na anya hwe kra no ye betimi enya import cover be say 15 months on say Cocoa Board de say ye bibi sa anya hwe no nka ye wo sika bi da yachi a we no enka ban pank won te price no so nko be kwa kofa sa sika no aye den o de aba be socket nti say no abaya hu say gold bo aye den sika wom ewo wiase adwaman so enti e wo se yenya reserve bi a ye betimi ede asie se ne be ya se daachi se sika no kra na se gold bo no eba fom a ye betimi ede se sika na boye nchidom enra na nya asem ketua ewo Parliament ono aba afanya ma can say they are not interested in that, they are not then I don't know Davidson mpacho bo video ne kakra bi ma Ivada ontie se be yeja you bet me make a case out of it.
Mr. Speaker, the finance minister is here talking about inflation. What is inflation? When you go to the market and you cannot afford and you say inflation. Mr. Speaker,
yes, you can, because you have
the finance minister came here talking to us about some 15-month import cover. Mr. Speaker, we are not interested in his economic theories. Mr. Speaker, the finance minister must know that this house is not interested in his new theories. Mr. Speaker, the people of Ghana, and I start from the youth, you promised them 1 job, 3 shifts. I expect you as a finance minister to come to this house to address us on effort you are making. It's been 1 year. 1 year. Your own constituent, give us data. How many people you've employed? In Jomoro, in Evaregila, in Efutu, the transport minister, the roads and highways minister, in his own constituency at Aklu. How many people have benefited from job creation policy? You come to this house, and you tell us 15-month import cover, and you come and spend a whole 1 hour when your people have no jobs. Mr. Speaker, even when you come to the recruitment, it's a complete scam. And I'll explain to you the recruitment into police, immigration, prisons. You are now even telling the youth that they should go and buy forms. They should go behind
policy no nyadia hu hia omo fanyere.
Yeah, my culture said me whatever that happens in Parliament I don't follow. Yeah, because I am not sure that they've been able to elevate the parliamentary debate in a discussion beyond a certain way, warranted time and attention to, you know, because sometimes you listen to some of the argument, you only become frustrated. Especially the last time when there was this terrorist incident in Burkina Faso. Ghana near on Wajana Yeren and Maso Koto tomatoes in Nasafuaba. Now Wakaku share this horror. It will be mine so, not within the jurisdiction of the of Ghana. Will be mine so. Now you expect the parliamentarians of this country to show that kind of way, no. I express condolences. Now you're making sure that across the political divide, no, you are coming together to offer some kind of a resolution as a solution. Be able to address this challenge. You see men dressed in fine coat, degenerating into dirty partisan politics. Sometimes to why a break your heart, and that is what Parliament has always been noted for. That is why I may have never been a fan of Parliament. And again, this particular issue we all come once we are like talking about a country. Majority of the things we eat, and as you use so, import that has been a century-old tradition. So we are minority leader now to Parliament. Now, the finance minister Babakacho say import cover now say irrelevant. It means that one we need to work because the import cover is very critical until we are able to shift from say your friend saying. You be depending on our own. But until that is done, whether you like it or not, your import cover must be adequate. Because import cover now, you need to build those buffers against anything, instability, anything at all can happen. So it is a very critical and crucial aspect of your friend saying, economic way now, no. So you cannot trivialize it. You may disagree, but the fact of the matter is it is very, very, very important because there was a timer. We could go as low as 2 months. And endanger everything. And Nipana again I would at the time na access to forests and then for them. But my culture said because of gold board initiative for them, we have it and gold prices have gone up. And the person is telling you that because gold has become very expensive once again, it's very, very important to say you better say now you're making sure say you better build those reserves, no. Now you're more say by you to me I'm making sure that we are secured in that particular light. Ghana economy ain't shaky even in case there is this economic turbulence and then as for you know say we are best stable. He is there talking about trivial irrelevant stuff because for instance or say John Mahama adwuma be no buy before nipa na Ghana for do say no for more adwuma John Mahama buy we you modi. Because you are in government for almost 8 good years. How many people now were employed? We are not Ghana for Sikasabi and Crasisam no more Ghana Sikedi. Ye the Sik Cathedral, ye the air yes signboard, cater, ya fast you are port to any baby. All this nonsense happen in this country. Yes, as Ghanaians, we can demand from government, say there is the need for us because unemployment is a major crisis. Every government will try just to ensure say you create the avenues absorb nipa, and the private sector must also be enhanced to be able to maximize their capacity. But these people who suddenly have turned themselves into apostles of democracy, I say, they care so much about the people of this country. The question is, statistics bang, then the numbers are there. At the time when people were gunning up, young people were demonstrating everywhere, said they want job, they were using our money on senseless fixtures, building cathedrals, financing dirty stuff. If you go to the presidency at the time, the amount of money they were using financing Neamano, what's here not sabi? These are the factual realities. It's been 1 year. Yes, these expectations are quite high, but yeah, you will not wake up a day and say within 1 year, abiding for it's not possible. You understand? It will take time to be able to. That is why sometimes say politics it's about negativity. You first look at the foundation the person is laying, and it is about to take off. Obviously, job creation will be included. You understand? Because so I'm for Juma or not at the end of the 4 years, he cannot face the people of this country, even though he may not contest. But it's the same party. The legacy will be quit to whoever inherits that particular ticket. Will have a big trouble. You understand? But you see, it's been 1 year. You need to create spaces, but to create spaces, looking at the depth in as you must begin to, realign your priorities. Now, when we're establishing the base in area, then you also look forward to see how you can bring a lot of people in. It's a priority that government cannot discount because Makata said anywhere in the world, our youth unemployment ever rises to a certain level, a pose danger to obia national security, including everything. Because we are government now, one pay attention to these statistics. You endanger your own prospect, government and so forth. So I think the president really appreciates this. For instance, with this one job, one shift, as I'm working, the person has promised 24-hour economy. The 24-hour economy can only be premised on industrialization. Now, so we'll see factor. Then I offer will be 24-hour shift. 24-hour shift. So now the authority has been established. They've been given legal backing. So any decision you take, say you have that legal, your friends say framework within which you can act. China will be Makasa Wako use your Maisika and Nasifono and as saying. Until you look forward to Nema or Mobile. The factories in that has to be established. These are industries that are far. For Nipano, if it is about shea butter industry, you go in the morning, somebody will come in the afternoon, these are areas that establish those way, and other areas now are possible to do without establishing factories, has to do with the port. I'm told so port where they are running 24-hour shift. Unless that space is created, you cannot do it because so how do you say or being what I say? Oko Hospital is an entity that has been running 24 hours, so it is logical to do that. Policing, my country is a police for of our third party services. To employ more police officers to run in the night, there must be market availability. NIPA should be outside to be able to employ more. And yes, sir, you only need a petrol team who will be running around town. So when there is a night economy that has expanded, then you will need extra police number to be able to guard it, just like we do it in the daytime. You understand? So these are myopic mind who are blinded by politics, and they don't even think about the things they say. You understand? So it is not like say Wakasa 24-hour economy, no by yana was 24-hour economy. Or because the market must expand beyond the clock. The market needs to expand beyond 24 hours. So expanded beyond 24 hours, that is where banks will begin becoming operational. Because a bank cannot be operating in the night when there is no market. Or be a nice accompanion. What I say, and then because of digitalization and as a form, I don't even remember the last time I made them a Nanko bank. Because you can do everything. You understand? So that is why I keep telling people that this technology is also taking away some of this. The banking and as for in the next 10 years, the bank will not need physical staff. they will rely on IT and these things to do their banking. And you know, if you're choosing a career, you also need to look at some of these things in the long term, because bank activities near more transactions are being replaced by AI, artificial intelligence, and as a form technology is taking over all these spaces. Now, is the reason why I post officer Obian cause or pursue anything. I didn't pursue.
Yeah, PDF. Yeah, send it to me.
Exactly. You don't. So that is how the world is changing, and I think that we need to respond. And now, baby, I bet me a boy, and I capitalize on that. But for me, I think that you see, Parliament, the speaker will have a great deal of a way to do, because you see, I think that maybe I'm the only person disappointed in Nehemiah course for Parliament, and maybe I am not the only person. My decided say I will not even follow what happens there, because it's so annoying, it's heartbreaking. It's sick to insult and ridicule Ghanaians and then as a for among themselves. Sometimes is so annoying. I think that they must begin to realize the same way the political audience growing up, the gullible political folks in 1990 who chant or suno chinian as a for without thinking, you know, that audience, you know, are changing. People have become very. Your friend is saying, they are privy to what is happening. So, who make a debate? They want to pinpoint the logical highlights now. Who make, you know, and on what basis on that to make analysis. What Jennifer Betty to sa jandam sa politics, who no gum and invoking emotions and passions. Nobody will follow you. It's the reason why issue banner regard the Parliament. Look at the way Ghana for Kamwasem. It shows Ghana for any respect for the house, but when it comes to other entities, you see people treat it with a better way. The time of Parliament bas almost chamber. Look at the insult amount for raining on them. The time I'm the bill because siren. Look at the insults people raise on them, because amount for don't see the value in what they do. Apart from that dirty partisan politics, accusing this, accusing that, recrimination this, that, and those kind of trivial politics. They only come together when their interest aligns. It's about money training and so forth. So I think they will have a lot to do to convince the people of this country. Indeed, it is an institution that is there, working for the better of the people of this country. Now, not say we go there and extend Parliament into a sort of saying political party offices, extension of political party offices, where people tend to do this dirty trivial politics. You know, people will not take you serious anymore. So I think the government will have to do what it has to do, because you see, if you turn around, I mean, I am so happy about the economic turnaround. The mere fact that within 1 year, John Mahama has been able to turn the economy around. The stability is there. All the critical indicators are around the world. Yeah, they assess the economy, you know. It's really gaining grounds. Yes, pricing and as a form Ghana for because of who we are. So Kwabrane Cotton na no 50 million in Faswa or China for so 60 million. And the pricing so to crack us on tia or nya say. These are things we must look at and find a way. You better make sure say prices are air cost or no. You better driving it down, because if inflation is stable, ama nema board and as a form is stable, there shouldn't be any meal. We better fast with that to nema man nema boy. So that kind of way must be communicated across board. Say by ya, a mom or my move for no benya some faso, because I dream be anywhere muda why bet you begin a catcher and say 2024 they're not gonna win a moon and a lot of things have changed, you understand? And you're perfect. Yes, because our governance is a process. You don't expect everything to happen in a day. But I think that with the foundation that John Mahama is laying, all that he needs is the support of the people of this country just to ensure, say, kakra, he will get there. On your magician, on your Jesus Christ, now the 5,000 bread, I feed your sister 3 bread wine, I feed in the 5,000. What I say? It takes your friend saying that time, you know, our planning. Kakra would call him, and Obaye, he has shown enough. And on our things opposition, it's the reason why you see this aggression and belligerence. And our MPP, I don't know whether they are interested in power, because if they do, characters like Afenyo Markin shouldn't be leading their debate in Parliament, because anytime he speaks, he seeks to annoy people the more, because you are not coming from China. These are people who few months ago were ruling this country, taking reckless, dangerous decisions. They were so disrespectful, so despicable to the extent that they never listened to anybody. If nothing at all, under this government, the president listens to people. Especially when this lithium deal came up and people were on social media aggressive, the government backed down on that particular decision. You understand? And there are several of such decisions at Koswa. Now, Baba Jama the president issued a statement. I'm told, say, the customs board. These are decisive decisions the president has shown. In the last administration, we didn't see these things. So the president is human. He is doing his best to ensure things will work best for us. And I think that all the support that he needs, Ghana for need to give it to him until he veers off. And as long as Onyam veer off, and with good heart, what has to be done. No, the only way a Ghana for Buofu president has to do with the slow pace prosecution and investigation. And me, I have intimated that he need to go all out and make sure that the criminal cartel now who took over this country and destroyed this country, if we don't prosecute them, it will become a sin and a scar on the conscience of average Ghanaian. What the politics are saying there, and they will never forget it. It's the reason why anywhere Cocoa Board matter is mentioned, Oko comment and Asia. Why have they not been prosecuted?
Exactly.
The last time I had a conversation with KSM, and I'm sure he's watching this show, he's a follower of this show. So, legend KSM, will be a
boss of Akupe.
Yeah, boss of Akupe. Why are there? If you look at your friends, where Waba Bedu are still very critical about what is happening, I think that he deserves a lot of commendation. Yeah. Interview now you make here, comment and Asia. People are asking, why are they working free? Why are they working free? Because former CEO, communication, why? Who messed the place up at them? People who are actively on TV talking. You understand? Because nothing is hunting them. You see, my culture, when it comes to governance politics, I don't do young family. No. Actions must have consequences. You acquire them when you never go to General Bompire, no, sir, it is serious business, it is politics, it is governance, and that must be established. And yes, sir, these people, they are good at when you saboteurs, they are expert. And I know one and I'm not coming Comania Broad independence, no more palace, or Britain. Catch him and say, hey, man of independence, my. That is what they are good at. And you know, when they come to young sabotage, they are best. They are very good at it. But they are buying more on better. So I think that you need to recognize these things and deal with them. It's the reason why Kwame Nkrumah was so radical. Now, no, Mr. Nkrumah was a dictator. They don't know what they are saying. At the time, they created a very hostile environment for Kwame Nkrumah. On Jubilee House, and the police in your born hobbying. Your friend Ametewe, or no one can say to Uncle Kwame Nkrumah. And I think some Nkrumah train when they come born the bodyguard no kuno. There was a death attempt on Kwame Nkrumah on more than 4 occasions. Yeah, the bomb man crack it. Now, one I you and Kaden and Gabaye. What I say? That is why Nkrumah became so radical and very hostile, because the people he was dealing with at the time were criminal saboteurs. And dealing with criminal saboteurs, you need to muzzle up and face them. I just am Komukuno. What I say? Now, you know, you head on what they know. And I think that Ghana and Mamuno. No, you go as ruthless as you can, but be pragmatic. It's as simple as that.
All right. Kwazofia Gwema who comment caught I kind Omar Mohammed Nelson Goma Lesio Matiana Yachabeneza Mokto and the Livingstone and Afe Enocho Papa Yao. Munina mehumo ewo comment section no I say all right may you sure say nyina yenim is it Charles Apia also the guy now who
school way
no bed syndrome I feel na mrehye for ani abre na was here mre bia emma obi call hospital Rebecca say no bed near the nipa ni chin sa no bed syndrome aye kan kabie woyen so Ghana o yare na unim obia obeye call akọ hospital bia Fred doctor bi wan hwa wo da ka ma no wawu nti abranti ye de ne koto okọ kwalebu okọ rich ekọ police hospital ti se soja ni panyin na ye de ne call rounds at the end of the day owu ye no the same thing hit and run car be abono and a driver na dwane ye de no call kwalebu ye say bed ni ho rage say bed ni ho police hospital ye say bed ni ho e ko bi e chomo de na chia me na gu atokem
ya ma menchira asembim no birth syndrome has nothing to do with abrante na ye de no call ye whoever omoye behind this must be prosecuted for say a pure criminal offense say because you see hospital wa ho when somebody is in a critical emergency situation the person in here bed na wadaso the person needs survivor that is the first thing the person needs say car bobi a friend RTA road traffic accident moje tuno on here bed na wadaso what the person needs is a first aider ebemana alivu onwu instantly before you transport the person. Okay. So whenever somebody, unless the situation is not critical, but when it is life and death, nipan ambulance are found because oh and a yadeneba. Na yadeneba or hospital now kasa yam fanon ko before because we need better. You are a criminal that must be prosecuted. So nipan uwa.
Yeah.
Asema making.
Yeah.
It's different from say obiyare. Na oye stable. Na yedne kwa kolebu. Na say oh bed ni ho nti. Hospital we do transfer but somebody in a critical emergency situation you can talk to any doctor you cannot say you need bed into because when you pick the person you send the person to the nearest hospital available and any care and even if a form crown as a ordinary to render care manner you need to because some of the situations don't require a bed because I was at the emergency so I don't know there was a timer NDC for call President Mahama na yere na yebu on kwanza omkonya accident I don't know so okay 2016 2015 2016 there about yes I was on night duty at the time car no ko hwe mugu o mobae no the people were I think say about one or two ewu ya najo no people were bleeding profusely at that point na nipa na bleeding no ya were emergency theater ho na wudi nipa na gu and na wu treat o mo se be ya omunwu at the time that person in here bed na nipa na mo dey tunu kukukuru bed no here so on what point there will be a car bono also here bed say emergency room ni na ya ma nipa wa he na kakra space wo ho no we will push the person to the ward and at any place and you attend to the person even floor crana because nipa no
ohia
come now we say onko different hospital no obetime wu at any point in time because omo ambulance no they are not doctors there are people who have been given just 6 months training and as for that doctor nim nurse nim no ne dey say obetime provide oxygen certain basic way amount but nipa na car bona ohia care say one care for na you never do kolebu you say fa no call what kind of incrasism is that no I saw said they have been interacted because if you are outside the way no more care be wadwe mo kesen they say
well Ivan or nurse why am
Alaska the media no obi a owu because car na bo nipa no ne life to maybe the person has just about 10 minutes to die now what timia drive na adna be duru ho nurse ho doctor ho nipa no nyese bia owonkwan you know say an emergency situation the doctor or nurse on duty know say kwana ye ne kono betimi wo kwam
so eya muhu
na say me na wo kan accident na manfo wu no the only reason a nipa wu aye bleeding no accident na manfo wu ni nyina no the major cause aye moja na etu no so your job is to stop the bleeding first enti senka kolebu for je no na at least omo make sure say omo stop the bleeding now we dey not to fa call because anyway but to do nothing for the person and turn the person away when you know the person is dying that is criminal negligence I expect the family to take this particular issue up because you see yan sha se anya sa na ma we ya amamfo agi di money and a nurse for I say ba nya mo nyina o amamfo a dedicate your mo adwuma just to save life and there are few miscreants more in the name of whatever do some of these things and omo dia say obia come point and say ya from your friend say Tema hospital na ya say we ya there no ebia yeah refer to we are and no crown they will call and I am making sure say more bed na so for you make all the necessary arrangements and the ade na anya call na ya tab nipa no kwan ho ukubi kura say enya ambulance ebi obi kwa na betimi atab nipa na to no care.
Oh yeah, I think so na enya ambulance.
So just imagine say obi a oy asthmatic na asthma attack aba na oni inhaler na wo akofa na okwan na wo na to care na wo ne kokoli na ka just say bed ni ha nipa no wanya inhaler na owu and the person is telling you for a different hospital. I death sentence now they money per crowd. So I think there are some of these things. Remember say yeah, I was really very angry, and I think that some of the big hospitals also there are criminals. Yeah, unza what's enough for a you turn into a criminal.
A criminal, sure.
Because Saudi na say for first state koye ye bi we bi wo investigation bi wo nipa no be surgery from Nigeria. We tetimi sisiri nipa no je over $10,000 something dollars here they cut equipment abe the surgery. Since when will be surgery on the cotton and nema. And these criminal things cost so I think say Honorable Akando will have a lot of weight on his shoulder. You see, a man from and a man from we school now post to be come be so now I saw his tall stance. So we a doctor near post to come baby now so won kwa and certificate to bit me akwa we there and now sell private hospital. And I think that is the decision that must be taken. You understand? Because adwuma na wo ye na ya wan kwa ya say ya do kwa akoton kan. Ya kofa say bra be serve nipa. So it doesn't matter baby nipa no wo. You must accept. Even ko hokra na kasa after 1 year wo get transfer, that's fine. But you post to say you krasi onko na wona na nko na papa na nko na adwuma na akwa no so the be den. What I say? So I think that you see we need to be very ruthless in dealing with some of these things. There are a lot of people omo to ho si we ye adwuma. Doctors and nurses I ebinum kura nam so a Sebi, omonye nkwanhia ne nasefo bebre ehye amanfo. What I say? But there are few who very often do some of these things. And sometimes I don't know who some of the hospital now the approach, the attitude in nasefo towards we no and then the man for kasati obia. But yes ana nurse ni bia tie, yes ana doctor ni bia tie. I can tell you sir there are nice ones who always and ever they are ready to help and serve the people of this country. But few people because come with a we need any medical background. Common sense is enough incentive to provoke you to know say obi a carbona owu amoje to know you never a hospital you don't turn the person say you find called different hospital when the person is bleeding in the ambulance and according to sources you say moja na two a branch moja na aturu waka no because I can't say the only way when accident we never mienu either bleeding or so when organ rupture and yes sir there is no way you die. There is no way you that is the only thing either sensitive organ ever rupture and also bleed you because moja are always they are flowing so whenever that is why we know we cannot walk. No, it's okay. That is why. That is why. Okay. I dear child be baby na se moja no tugu bebrebe not one hour yemre not 1 hour yemre no one because a moja no you need it to be circulating all the time so accident na when you the baby atwa no a moja no tugu and you can't survive. So the early first aid the person needs is to stop the bleeding. Once you stop the bleeding, the person will regain conscious and be able to go through whatever process. But the partner baby, oh ambulance, we say for no call baby, or no call no call papa. I think this thing must be investigated. You see, some of these things must not be treated lightly because a lot of people are go through. And let me also say it is different when Nipano, sorry, the condition is stable. And ya only critical condition. Now wako hospital ya catch say oh you need bed. So the person is referring you to go to another hospital because you are not dying. You can go. So go to another hospital. That is different. But media making it strictly an emergency situation where the person is dying. You don't refer dying man. Yes. And the sad aspect of this gentleman, I say the papa, adwuma oya say or a hospital bed na for no chema hospitals and that is what he has been doing with the boy. This is papa or no adwuma oya so supply hospital bed na for no more wheelchairs na for bed into the bau. You see the world, how funny the world is. I think this particular inquiry must continue and we need to ensure that these things don't ever happen again. Because you don't know the inquiry. Must you know me first?
Exactly.
So I think this idea way and again men san kan kira aban say you say entina na ye kano san pasia sika na ye de koye sa cathedral me catch us yen turn that place into a children hospital biggest one in West Africa na yemfanye we ya I address sa cathedral sika we ya de set up a big emergency center our Accra na juma na say emergency sinkwa na attend to so nipa na stabilizer then kolebu any other and also be easy pressure on kolebu and other places sometimes for all you know over consumer emergency ho so e ho so ayema but it doesn't mean say transfer the person even say you need to treat the person in the ambulance you treat the person in the ambulance what I say so I think that these are some of the things that we need to let us make sure that we set up one of the biggest emergency center. And you know, emergency be a BCB, RTO, whatever, you know, say you are driving to that emergency center. Say, Yanka, your side needs to be your heart. If Yanka wait and see. Quabranet na chroma, so forth na chroma, say Yanfa is sick and kusi cathedral. Yanka for heavily food, no man, emegua, dam, as you say, Nipama Genema, young women say, who say, you hear emergency facility, chroma say. So I think that President Mahama, know what he does is he solve problems. Yeah. Whereby I'm sure he will listen. I'm making sure, say, Sa cathedral site no either children hospital or one of the biggest emergency center I will come here to make sure say once there is an emergency is an emergency. The word is emergency life and death and yes me rabo me mani su chini me ko ho gabi emergency is an emergency
oh you don't want to chi wa emergency
yes and you know your friend say accident see Accra Kumasi road your helicopter ebetimi airlifting nipa straight to that particular place emergency what nipa na ho wahwe na we are stabilizing no then you distribute them to hospitals na say for them say timi yes ane man I think say ebetimi aboa ko obi a ka abono na no and I say we can anya wo a you think it's normal
you think it's
normal na da beto ma me no akwa we na lucky dube na ball na nyom o say o ka am robbery o free say your distance way na that the man in the long black coat obebo wo door no how be bia be hu say cromfo na kura tu ogina ho no then you know say robbery is real some of these things I think that we need to be very measured.
Okay nia yade be wie ne hema hu say comments na anu ayeden papa me say no kweku Philip or say Ivan, always happy to hear from you. Okay, Ringway Baptist Church. Hey, Udino no anase sorry be page din asemo. Okay, no time say ya Charles Emisa. But na sem ne de emu ya pa emu ya. Na wani tu ya pa senka we de wo mo gimi ebe ye na wo ma hwa ma nipa na wu no. In fact, I ahomete.
Agenda 111 na kosi say.
Oh, esa tonsu.
Ti krom ha na sabi nkwasi dede
na se for agenda. Ama ya se pickers kro ba fa bi amofom so ya mom ska. Attorney General say charge wo mo yente hwe. Se o ma tue so ma ye den yo we don't know.
Dede wa enu nie kwabrane atia gusu to TV say asofo boka soka kase justify why say kofa bo from Israel. Na nkwase me nkra nie. Like me yankofa bo from Israel yamfa meto ho na as ye yare na ye mesi cathedral $97 million ahyiagu and emergency aboma ye de obi ko a onye ba bi na kwabrane ti parliamentary kansem hunu afanyo mark nenko e ma ka cho say your politics no sanka ya elevating to a standard as a nimde ni nyansa woma these jokers will not have any distance to be talking the way they are talking because they are not coming from China. They are not coming from Cambodia. These are people who ruled this country for 8 good years. Must have written up. Today you want Ghana to turn into America. Joker.
All right, the area no reporter Forestry Commission aye from 2021 to 2024 illegal mining your forest reserve from 5,252.9 hectares to 8,923.8 hectares by December 31st, 2024. Where a Soviet Forestry Commission are conducting. Say, Omaya say, we Mr. Forest in Yatimi and Yabidia ya recover be. But the Akan Omu here said Ghana Armed Forces and in Nimos Ebebwa na more etimia recover. I say illegal mining in Komono, Kwana ba, and Raipi. Boss, MIT as say, I think we better require for say $32 million was saying, and send a bremus union qua, or motimi eti and say. Galamsey na cause damage pa.
Yeah, it's sad.
Hey,
it's sad because my culture said the greed, the insatiable greed of people who always want to make money, will do everything for money.
Yeah,
they don't care the consequences. They will always do say sikana omusa. The only way to stop it is to become aggressive. Government will take all the proactive measures. And I think says Galamsey fight, it's not over.
Yeah.
But the effort from the government is different from the inaction from the previous government. And that is why I want to accept say the fight is still on and government is doing everything to ensure that we overcome. There are people, even people within NDC government whose name has been mentioned, thrown around and as a forum. And I think the investigations are ongoing. It doesn't matter who. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't matter who. When are we a president of office, when are we a minister, when are we a once you are involved in a criminal activity, you are a criminal and you must be dealt with. As simple as that. But yeah, you see, you draw back and you ask yourself, say, why must we even be talking about forest reserve in the first place? Ese maraman nkrofo ko gum se omunko tunsan no omampanyini de mrata akire ma parliament ya motiwe sanje to mu se kwabrane can go to the forest reserve. The thing is forest reserve etwitwa ma party mpanifo no mu cheguram etu Galamsey ya so ko ba bia friend presidency forest we have abonya na beka also call Western region baby there was a forest called the presidency forest executive netu wunni executive
to be
that is how far you did on mine way babeduru here. And I think I like what Nanmos has been doing. The minister has been up and doing everything. You see, and your fighter you can win in a day. It will take collaborative effort, a long time. Apart from some fight, you also need to devise measures. Sure. And yes, then it turns around. And one side, Ghana for new because Ghana for Abatias. Adia ba ko kunkum nipa ese amamfo yamu ne mane na se for no menne. If you go to various way now here data from amamfo kidney, liver, heart and for diseases you know say yankasa ye poison ye ho we are killing ourselves without knowing because of fueling by greed and as for we don't see. So I think say it's good. The fight must continue unabated. Esa aban ye de oye bia just to ensure say any criminal, it doesn't matter who, political color, affiliation, where you're coming from, or your hand. In some way, and your politicians in Kwao, I am for being society, or can be, also can be in a way in a coso. I think the fight must be uniform across board, whoever, whatever, whenever, Biano, we must overcome and make sure, say, Obio involved, Biano, you be making sure, say, the past has been spoken about a lot. We are looking at the forward then just to ensure say you be clear amount for forest reserve no asedan kanya me say ne kwabra ne ntimi mbostu of some forest reserve A2 mine.
Yeah, sure. That one. Abano
has taken drastic measures and making sure say we withdraw obia from the forest reserve and making sure say the yase no you be finding a way to reclaim. But you see, I think that we can still have traces. Wouldn't to be it's not facing prosecution, but not just say wouldn't to be one or yes animal. Charles Visio and co. Several other prominent people in the previous administration whose names were mentioned. Professor from Pom Watson's report is still available. We need to make sure say these criminals are prosecuted. Sabaya. Who say fight now, yeah, fight no, and yeah, I'm not the fight, but it's backed by action and this kind of decisiveness on the part of government to ensure say you render no a high risk venture. Ukoma, the consequences are there for you too. So I think that so far so good. The fight hasn't been won yet, but I think that if you look at the energy, the eagerness and the aggression on the part of government to ensure that they confront this evil in the face, I think that will give a government pass and pat it at the back. Now I encourage say they need to do more to ensure that we overcome this once and for all. I am not that person. Obi ya the papa. Maybe tenase have a train form. No. Once that particular genuineness has been shown, the government has shown enough commitment. This is what I'm doing. I think we need to support it. By people gave him support everything until they decided to go haywire. But John Mahama has not demonstrated he's not working with the people. He has shown say he's working for the people. It is the people's interest and all the year Juma. And as long as he continues remaining these particular parameters, I employ Ghanaians to support him to achieve everything that he wants to achieve for Yenina's sake, because his plans will come to benefit us Ghanaians. Then as for them, yeah, maybe we know. But I think the military high command and the president and the Ministry of Finance, they are very, very important. And say, social media, me share me number for no one we are soldier for. As someone of the bomb so has to do with this gratuity, CI 129. Kufuado, Eco Sign Jetumu as a subsidiary legislation CI 129. A change the formula every year retirement package for military people. No, they could not make any single financial allocation, so they could not implement it. And there has been a tug of war in the last 5 years. And President Mahama Akachre, the finance minister, said, making 1 billion Ghana cedi financial allocation. And he has done it. And there is a statement from the armed forces. Ghana armed forces clearly no, the president and the ministry has given green light. So the Nibia retire 2020. 2021, 2022, 2023 up to now biano new formula na ye say yam fanya mo retirement package no aban no ne ye fence CDS ne mpanifo aka boma omo aye saade no ene da ben ene date sen ene 26 ochina 27th and payment obia oye sojani a retire bia ochina the money is going to be paid in tranches. The first tranche no hit the account ochina 25th, which is 27 Friday. So I think governance must provide results, and I'm happy that today just in some way I can people on social media insulting, yes or more, but they forget to say it was implemented 5 years ago. Our bank could not make a single allocation for President Mahama within 1 year to be able to find money to pay this way. No, I think that he deserves a lot of commendation. These are things that must be highlighted. And CDS also have played quite a crucial role, because on way up and down we are working on it, and today the results is here, because these people deserve that particular money. I am not saying they don't deserve, they deserve. That is why a government not making this particular monetary allocation to them. And I think we also need to support men in the uniform, because President Mahama quite recently sought for a construction of about 10,000 housing units for military personnel.
For the
2000 was the last time I catch me call Bema camp me were here. Come na me nyan ko hoda, let me free say a place built with glasses in as well.
That quite
no. I think it's a young soldier what devote to say oko serve aban ordinary life, because Ghana the young ko won tian ko because oko soldier life and death matter. And you know, I think that they deserve proper accommodation. Okay, sleeping in groups, the student bed. No. I think we need to make sure that the housing deficit, and I'm told it's around 14,000, but I'm sure it's more than 14,000, because quite more pay more. So I think